Buenos dias. Welcome to Rishikesh. Welcome to another Wish You Were Here video. Again, if you don't know the rules, this is a 45-minute unedited video where we take you around every place that we stay to give you a true and real experience of what it's like to be in this place. First and foremost, we start with our hotel room. So, this is where we're at with this little monster.
It's very cold, I can't help it.
So this is our room. And it's been okay, it's been fine, but there are some issues in here. We've got this big open space which is completely unused because you might be able to see from the windows there's quite a lot of damp. So it's very cold in here, you can feel the moisture. Of course, with all hotels in this area being cheap, you get what you pay for. Always a few concerns with the sheets and whether they're clean. And again, as you can see, more damp. Simple bathroom. This bathroom, I will say, we did have some troubles yesterday and the day before because the water stopped working. So yeah, we've had our problems with this hotel. And as we come out, we're going to walk through the hotel and I'm going to be quiet because unlike the other guests in this hotel, I have manners. So this is our room. And this is where we're staying, down in the alleyways of Rishikesh. This sort of fella down here, this dog, is probably the noisiest dog in all of India. So let's go down now. There's people staying in these rooms. The people staying in them rooms had a bit of a party last night. Seems that the hotel is going under some kind of renovation, slow renovation. I would suggest that it needs to be a bit faster because, yeah, it needs a lot of repairs in here. Morning. Are you the noisy one from last night? Hey? It's all these ones here, yeah. Right, so now we're going to come out into our area. Watch dodging the cow poo. And currently we are staying in the Laxman Jhula area of Rishikesh. So we'll take a walk up here first and we can walk that way. So I'll take you up this end of the street first. I'm not sure whether you can see. It's very cold. Don't be wrong, our families in Europe are suffering with much colder weather. But for us here right now, we're tropical people. We're desiring so much to be on a tropical beach, I really won't lie. We've been suffering from illness the last 2 weeks. Both had quite a severe case of food poisoning that put us in bed, unable to move for 5 days in Delhi. And so typically these videos, we record them in every place that we go to, but we were actually unable to in Delhi. We were that sick that we made our video, if you saw it, about whether to go to Delhi. And then after that, we go down here and show where the boats come from. And after that, we had to leave. We couldn't do it anymore. Like, we were really struggling. So we came to Rishikesh. We got here on a train from Old Delhi train station, or New Delhi train station. And it took 6 hours to get here, 6.5. And it was actually amazing. It was a really enjoyable train. So I would say probably one of the most enjoyable things, at least for me. And I think you enjoyed it as well, didn't you?
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah.
Very easy.
Is the trains in India. Take the train in India. It's a real experience, getting around to see the country. And here we have the Ganga River, and you see all the steam coming off it. You might know this as the Ganges otherwise. but locals refer to it as the Ganga. So from this port here, if that's what you want to call it, you can actually take these little boats across to the other side, because this bridge is out of action. They're doing some kind of repairs up there, which I'll show you in a second. But yeah, you can't get across. The furthest bridge, or the closest bridge, sorry, is around the bend, which we're going to come to in a minute, which is the Jhula bridge. So it's quite a walk, but otherwise, if you want a quicker way, you can take this boat and they'll take you across to the other side over there where that painting is. And when we got it the other day, it cost 50 rupees, but I think there are different boats. Some of them are a bit cheaper. But yeah, it's also strange to see as well that there's actually a, I mean, if you call it that, it's a beach. But up and down the Ganga River, there are other beaches, and over on the other side over there, there's like a rock beach. Plenty of people go swimming in the river here, and actually, the river looks very clean. Now, I don't know the chemical makeup of the river. We've got a mate waiting for us, blocking our path. He's probably wondering if we've got any food for him or her. So yeah, I don't know what's in the water chemically, but visually it's very clean. There's not much plastic or pollution in there. I always make sure you be careful when you're walking around these. So we'll have a little look up here. You see everything's closed. This is definitely the best time to experience Rishikesh, to come out early in the morning, because we did have a little bit of a surprise when we got here, to be honest. We, you know, heard about Rishikesh for many years, about being this spiritual place, a place where people come to meditate and do yoga, and of course it's very famous for the Beatles coming here in the 1960s to study meditation and yoga with a famous spiritual man. But it was very noisy, lots of cars, lots of jeeps passing up and down, and especially on the other side of the river in the Tapavan area, where other tourists stay as well, where we stayed when we first got here. Very busy. We didn't really like it, if I'm honest. We kind of had a little bit of a shock. You see here, obviously it's maybe in the wet season the water comes running down here. So yeah, we did have a little bit of a shock when we got here, but now it seems that was because it was the weekend and it was New Year, so lots of people here on holiday. Now we're in midweek, the New Year has passed, it seems much quieter, particularly, as I say, in the morning. So this is that bridge. You can see they're doing loads of works down here, or at least looking at the machines anyway. Apparently this has been out of action for quite a while, so I'm not sure at what speed they're doing the work, but you can see it's quite precarious, the bridge. Possibly would even need replacing, to be honest. But we'll make our way back the other way, because our mission for today is we're going to go to Haridwar, which is the next town along, and it's the place where you arrive by train if you're coming from Delhi. We're going to go there today, and we're going to buy train tickets to take us to Amritsar. Now, there is a train station in Rishikesh, and that train station you can go to Haridwar, but it seems that the trains, they're either fully booked or they're not regular, I'm not sure. So from Haridwar is how you get to Amritsar, and we're hoping to take that train in the next 3 or 4 days. So there will be more videos coming from Rishikesh, but as I say, this is just our wish you were here video to show you around. So let's get a mooch on, and we'll get down the other end to the Jhula bridge and cross the Ganga River. Yeah, one thing we noticed as well around here, which is quite a difference coming from Delhi, and in particular coming from Nepal, is that all the little supermarkets, they're like proper supermarkets, like mini ones, of course, like a 7-Eleven style. You know, they've got glass windows on the front. Because obviously coming from Nepal, everything's just sort of small mum and dad shops. So around here there's no problem buying anything, and it seems that everything is priced properly in the shops. There's no haggling, not in the shops where you buy your water and things anyway. I was quite disappointed with Rishikesh for one reason. So we were inspired to come here from Gabriel Traveller. If you've never watched his YouTube channel, check it out because he has videos from everywhere. Just a guy on his adventures, taking you around with him. Really cool, really nice guy. And so he inspired us to come to Rishikesh. And one of the things I always like with him is he wears these funky Hindu t-shirts with the gods on them, full of colours, and yeah, it just looks like a funky looking guy. And I really wanted one. It was like paying my homage to Gabriel. And he bought his here in Rishikesh. And I haven't found them anywhere. Haven't found them anywhere. Which is, you know, of all the things to be disappointed by in life, is a strange thing to be disappointed by. But nonetheless, I am on the hunt. So if we see one on the way, I'm getting it. Xiomara's also missing some garments as well, because coming from Nepal, you got rid of what?
I got rid of my Himalayan hat, and I am regretting it because at this moment it is exactly what I need. We are super close to the Himalayas, so you can feel the cold is really chilly here in December and January.
It's very cold, isn't it?
Very, very cold.
Yeah, I would say right here where we are now is probably colder than it was actually in Nepal, because we are right in the north of India. We're actually probably, in terms of the latitude, is it latitude or longitude? Which is the one that, I don't know. In terms of how far north we are, we're probably more north than what we were actually in Nepal, in Kathmandu and Pokhara and places like that. So yeah, very cold. During the day though is okay, and if you come here during the summer it's hot. Now what we do have to point out, again, thanks to inspiration from Gabriel Traveller, is this cafe here called Little Buddha Cafe. Honestly, fantastic. Cannot praise it enough. We've eaten in there every day since we came. You take these steps up here. Honestly, can't praise it enough. So we were being very careful about what to eat because of obviously being sick in Delhi. Very temperamental stomachs. And we were very anxious about it. So when we seen Gabriel eating there in his video, we were like, right, let's check it out. And we went in, an enormous menu, very cheap, like unusually cheap, and the portions are very large.
Incredible how big the portions can be.
Yeah.
It's like, seriously, I can't believe it. It's like one plate for 2 people.
Yeah, and the quality of the food is very high. It's all vegetarian, which is great for us, not because we're vegetarians, but because probably meat that gave us the sickness in the first place. And they do incredible juices in there. Hello, mate. Incredible juices in there, so we're feeling fit and much better now thanks to all the good food and vitamins and minerals that we've been getting. So highly recommend you take a stop in that restaurant if you visit Rishikesh. You certainly won't regret it. It's also got epic views over the river if you can be lucky enough to be one of the ones that gets a seat, because it is a very popular place. And you know, with many places the popularity has to be questioned, but in there it's totally deserved. We actually reached the point, again because of being sick and because we found somewhere that we actually like and trust, we haven't actually eaten anywhere else. So yeah, we can't comment on any other place, because the food in there, the service and everything, the people that work in there, it's so great. We just can't pull ourselves away. But very cold now. I would suggest when you're coming to Rishikesh to research the areas properly before booking a hotel. So as with everything, we typically don't book things in advance, because when we took the train from Delhi, we didn't know if we were going to come straight to Rishikesh or if we were going to actually stay a day in Haridwar. Transpired we came to Rishikesh, so of course we booked our hotel on the day after we arrived. Now, we didn't research the areas, of course, so we just looked on Agoda. There were very few options because it was New Year's Eve when we arrived, and so we ended up staying in what was Tapavan, which is the other side of the river. And the area is nice, don't get me wrong, the hotels there are nice. It's quiet, not when we were there again, but it was New Year. But it's just far away from everything. You feel like if you want to come across the river to Laxman, Jhula, which to me this side of the river is much more relaxed, then you are far away. You're in for quite a big walk or a boat ride and everything. So I recommend, you know, unless you're going over there for a reason, maybe a yoga retreat or something, just research your areas, because like I say, there's a decent walk between everything. And what we found out yesterday in terms of walks was that we needed an ATM, and there's none here. There's some, but they're really far down the other end. So it took us maybe 20 minutes.
Even more.
To actually,
it was like 30 minutes to arrive to
yeah,
the ATM.
just to get to an ATM. So make sure you bring plenty of money with you, because options down that end in Laxman, Jhula are basically none.
I know.
What we also don't understand, we've been walking around and seeing this white powder on the road, like marking the edge of the roads, and I don't know what that's for.
Maybe to drive.
I don't know, we still haven't figured. I thought at first maybe it'd be to stop the animals crossing, or maybe it's a spiritual thing. Maybe it's not anything practical. You can get your nice comfy yoga pants and hippie pants. I haven't reached that point yet, but Xiomara is definitely on the lookout.
I am.
We had this idea that when we were in Nepal, after about a week we'd be turning into full-on hippies, but I'm still walking around in my non-hippie clothes, my Jack Wolfskin, my North Face, looking very much still like I've just come out of the hood in England, if that's what you can call it. Now this way even, you've got the main road that way, which you can go. This way here is a little bit more peaceful, and even more still, there is actually a path further up there which cuts through into like the woods. It's more of a dirt path. That way is better because, as you see coming down here, you've got the motorbikes and the scooters, and I will say that people around here don't generally drive the most responsibly. So when the traffic increases, yeah, let's say it's not very zen. It can be quite a battle. But Rishikesh now at this time of the morning, much better. It's very nice. We've got here what looks like a school or an ashram, and we're coming up on this corner to Xiomara's favourite place.
Oh no, like the other day we were walking around here and I was just, you know, normally enjoying myself when just suddenly a ball from a group of kids playing cricket hit me on the arm, and it was super painful. It was super mega painful. Did I have a little bit of bruises and still a little bit painful from that, but it was like, seriously, they had the best puntery,
the best shot ever.
the best shot.
They were literally playing cricket and he whacked the ball and it could have gone anywhere. You see, this is the cricket field here, right? So they were playing,
they were super far away.
yeah, they were playing cricket over there. You see the cricket pitch where the mats are on the floor, and they whacked it from there, and of all the places it could have gone, everywhere, it came right here and whacked Xiomara straight in the arm.
What was that? And they said it was a ball, and then Wayne said that I was lucky enough because it was not a proper cricket ball. It was just like a hard tennis ball, so it was hard, but he said that it could have been even worse, so
Yeah,
I was lucky.
if you've never played cricket before, the ball is very, very heavy, very dense. So, you know, it takes a lot of force when the cricket players bash the balls very far. And so if one of those hits you at full pelt, you're in trouble. People have died by being, you know, hit in the head and things. So if it was a real cricket ball, Xiomara definitely would have had a broken arm. Look, you see? Little squirrels or chipmunks or whatever they are. Huh. There's another one there, sat on the branch. And with the cows. You can hear the chanting inside. So when we walked down here yesterday, there was maybe 100 sadhus all sat outside. So I think maybe they're in the temple or ashram or whatever it is. They're all outside kind of getting ready to have their food. So there are definitely holy people around here. Lots of ashrams. And as you can see from the people walking around, quite hippie people. It's not me and Xiomara.
Not yet.
No, not yet. Settle down. Stop fighting with each other. The sun is starting to peak. Blue skies. Hopefully it warms up in a bit because hands are starting to get very cold. I do have some gloves in my bag, so if needs must, we'll resort to bringing them out. I did have the plan last night when I was thinking of making this video this morning of actually going down to the river and having a little swim. What are you barking at? Are they barking at you? Mean dogs. Why can't you all just get on? I had the idea of going for a swim in the river, but as you can see it's very cold and you're not going to block our path, are you? Let's just go. Xiomara's quite nervous of the cows. So when we were in Himal, we were doing a trek up there. When we were descending the mountain, we were coming down a mountain road and there was a farmer with these cows or with his buffalo, and I had the same hat on but I had it tucked in my belt. And good morning, how are you? And I think that maybe the buffalo kind of got attracted to this, you know, like the matadors with the cows in Spain. And so the buffalo ended up charging down the road and chasing us and actually nearly knocked us off the edge of a cliff. It was very, very scary. And you know, when some people say you almost could have lost your life, this was very true. The bull come charging down, we heard it running down the street, and we had to literally cling to the edge of the cliff. If we would have moved 6 inches further behind, we would have been off the cliff. Very dangerous. And it seems like, are you following us? He wants a stroke.
Look, I have had some funny experiences with dogs, so I don't really know.
He looks a bit dirty, doesn't he?
Same.
I'd like to give you a bath, mate, and then I'll give you some tickles. I'm forever now having to be careful because I'm always stroking dogs and I'm always putting fingers in my mouth and in my eyes and in my nose, as Xiomara always reminds me. Talking of the nose, what have you discovered with your nose so far since being in India?
Well, it's very funny because every time that you blow your nose, it comes out with so much dust. So what we are breathing here is no great.
Yeah, especially in Delhi, you blow your nose and it just comes out black. So yeah. Oh god, and now I've got runny nose, so I don't think anything's staying in my nose right now.
Yeah, I can't even feel my lips. Like they are like very much dead.
Hey, I mean, look, this cold numbs your lips and stops you talking. It will be a travesty for the human population. But peace for my ears. Be good, do good, be kind and be
Compassionate.
compassionate.
Share, love, give, purify, meditate, realize. God first, God next, yourself last.
As we come further down here now, we are approaching the Jhula bridge, and this was quite an experience when we first arrived into Rishikesh, because as I say, it was New Year's Eve, and so there were many thousands of people, more so Indian tourists, and so crossing that bridge, it was jam packed. Couldn't move through it. It was kind of at a standstill. And having seen the news a few weeks ago or a few months ago, there was another bridge similar to this one in India actually collapsed because there were too many people on it. And I remember at the time saying to Xiomara, like, why would people get on the bridge when there are so many people already on it? It looks dangerous. And lo and behold, where were we next? On a bridge filled with people, barely able to move. And it turns out the reason why the bridge wasn't moving was because everyone was taking selfies. So it was quite the battle to get across, and it was quite I felt quite nervous, to be honest, because it's a suspension bridge, so you feel the bounce of all the people. And so yeah, hopefully in a minute it's going to be a much more pleasant experience going across with less people, and I would imagine that we're going to get asked for many less selfies.
Yeah, around under the bridge there is a little beach, and there were like plenty Indian tourists that day that we came, and they asked way like a few times. It was a little bit intense.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the bridge, at least from here, looks like it's much quieter, so I don't think that we would have any kind of problem today.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anyone on it at all, does it? This is the Jhula bridge in the distance here. So that's where we're going to be crossing into that area over there, which is Jhula. And from there, we're going to make our way down to Rishikesh bus station, where we're then going to take a bus, of course, to Haridwar. This is another one of the beaches here. These beaches here get very popular, so many people down here taking pictures and bathing in the water, mostly men, of course. Don't imagine how cold that water is now though, because the air temperature is very cold. That water itself actually comes from the Himalayas. It's glacier water, so I think even in the summer that water is very cold. Right now it might be teeny winky water.
See, I don't know, but if I were me, I wouldn't be going to the water. Firstly, because it's super cold. Secondly, because I don't fancy to get naked in the middle of Rishikesh with so many people around.
Well, I don't think we haven't seen any
women.
We haven't seen any women in there at all, have we? Oh gosh.
The other day it was funny because we were walking around this area. Then people just have some peace around here without really caring much about the other people.
Yeah, I think that's part of the culture though, isn't it? Because when you go through the streets of Delhi, there are public urinals, just like there are everywhere in the world, except the difference is the urinals are open air. Basically, you can see everyone having a wee, which is, to be honest, it's not that bad because you don't see anything as such. What is worse is the smell. You know, as you walk through different parts of Delhi, I think the most overwhelming smell is that of urine. So, not our favourite experience. Oh God, I'm really suffering with my nose now. I will say that Rishikesh has actually been a very nice experience so far. It's had some downfalls with how busy it was when we first arrived. People in our hotel are very noisy, staying up till 5 AM partying. So There's a couple of things, but that's not the fault of the place. The place itself, I do understand why people come and stay here for a long time, because it's tranquil, it's calm, the people here are nice, they don't bother you, and there's really good places to eat, which is nice. You know, Indian food is fantastic, but right now we don't want to eat curries. So in our area in Laxman, Jhula, as I alluded to before, there are really nice food options. So I definitely understand the pull of this place. But yeah, after here, Amritsar. And from there, we don't know, because we're right on the other end of India. So I want to come across to the other side and go to Varanasi, go to Kolkata, or Calcutta as it used to be called. And then we're considering potentially taking what is India's longest train up from the northeast right down to the southernmost point in Tamil Nadu. I think that train is 79 hours. Here we've got some monkeys playing with the cows this morning. He's having a good scratch. Be very careful, because I got told by a local the other day that they'll steal your camera. A few of them in this tree. Little baby one there, look.
Yeah, hugging each other.
Keeping each other warm. Okay. Now you can continue down this path here, and this will continue along the river, and it's down that way where you can go to the ashrams. Another one up here, look, looks like he's freezing cold. And big boy there as well. Yeah, so that's where the Beatles ashram is, which we're gonna make a trip to over the next coming days. So this is the Ram Jhula Bridge, painted with the flag of India. It's very bouncy. Probably don't pay too much attention as you're walking, because you'll start to notice that it's fairly old. The bridge is used for both pedestrians and bikes, so best to stick to the side. You don't want to have a scooter up the backside. So on this side of the river, it's up this way, which if you follow it will take you into the Himalayas. And every day you'll see rafters coming down the river. So it seems to be that rafting is a big industry here in Rishikesh. Many companies taking customers up the river, and then you see them coming down with the paddles, and they've all had a great time. So if you're into that kind of thing, Rishikesh is seemingly a great place for that. Many ghats, which are the stairs leading into the river. Much nicer today, isn't it?
A nice pose for a picture.
I'll say it everything.
Take advice from that.
Yeah, kind of a bit questionable when you see the state of the bridge. Yeah, that was an unusual pose, wasn't it? Come to me, daddy. Indians are the masters of the selfie. When you come along, it's interesting people watching, interesting people seeing people take the selfies and the poses they do. It's like a model shoot everywhere you go. We made it safely across to the other side. We didn't die. The bridge didn't collapse. We didn't get run over. Later on in the day, this turns into a bustling market, selling everything down here, from clothes and foods and things like that, and of course jewellery. But at the moment it's early in the morning, so it's quiet, and frankly this is the time that we like the most. Get a different view of the bridge from here. This cow's being looked after. He's got a little blanket on to keep him warm. So maybe he's just caught himself in some barbed wire or something. We're not very familiar with this particular area here, but should we make our way up to the top of the main road or continue down through the... continue this way?
Okay. We have to... is that? No, we have to go this way. The one that we came first time.
Do you think we can go that way and up to the main road though? Let's try that way. So this is the main road up here, which leads up to Pavan. And that gets extremely busy, but it's from that road that we need to follow to go to the bus station. Now of course we're not going to take you with us all the way there. We're approaching the end of our 45 minutes together here in Rishikesh, but hopefully this has kind of given you a little bit of a taste of what things look like, the lay of the land, the environment and the people here. Because anytime you watch a video that's been edited, you're seeing snippets, you're seeing the best parts, and you're not getting the full picture. Much like getting directions from someone, it's only useful if you can see the whole map. So hopefully this has given you an idea of what it's like here in Rishikesh. I would summarize it by saying cold. My hands are freezing right now. I'm going to put my gloves on the moment I put this camera away. This looks kind of hippie. Maybe get the God t-shirts in here.
We haven't been around here yet.
No, we haven't, have we?
Sir, you want river rafting?
No, thank you.
Next river end.
What is nice is that I don't think we've been asked for drugs once yet, have we?
No, only once.
Oh, only once. Makes a change from Kathmandu, where it was incessantly 20 times a day. So yeah, come to Rishikesh if you're not a drug addict.
Bring your own stuff. Sorry.
And still, no shops selling the God t-shirts.
No, not yet.
I feel like I'm doing Gabriel Traveller a complete disservice. No, thank you. Seems like a bit of a bus station, doesn't it? Maybe we can get some. Oh no, I thought that was a coffee shop, and it's river rafting. And there's that smell of urine again. Oh my god. Right, so yeah, we've joined back up with the main road. We can just keep following this now and get to the bus station. We do in fact actually need to get a rickshaw. We don't want to walk the whole way. It is quite far, but prefer to get one a bit further down. You seem to get a more competitive price. We actually saw a video. I think Xiomara thinks it was on this road. Xiomara found it on YouTube yesterday, and it looked like a tiger coming out of the bushes. So apparently there are tigers in Rishikesh. I'm sure they're very rare. I'm sure very difficult to see and not common at all. But yeah, there are tigers here nonetheless. Are you getting bothered? Try to hump you?
Yeah, they kind of block my path.
You must have a smell.
Maybe. I have a question.
Yes.
Are we gonna go all the way down walking?
No, we're probably going to get a rickshaw, but we can walk at least a little bit.
Come and drop this.
Hey?
The woman dropped this.
The woman dropped it?
Yeah.
Did she drop it or did she throw it?
No, it's like it's okay, it's working, so I don't think it's okay.
Here's the awkward moment where Xiomara tries to give someone something back and it turns out they were littering. Which is very common. Very, very common, unfortunately.
Drop it.
Oh god, that's very smoky. When we were walking down here on the same stretch of road the other day, we seen people taking carrier bags full of rubbish and just throwing them over the side. Not into the river, but into the bushes. So it's very sad. That is one of the things which always sticks with me with India, even after my last trip. It's just the, I hate to say it, like, because it's such a stereotype, but it's so true. It's the dirt. It's the dirt. Like, the waste management in this country is appalling. The government. You punching me for? That's Xiomara nudging me saying, "Don't say that." No, I'm going to be honest. It's appalling. The government needs to be doing better. And no matter if Xiomara doesn't want me to say it, I will say it. I'll call it out because someone needs to. The waste in this country is disgusting. And the government should step up and do something about it, because future generations of this country are going to be bloody poisoned because of the stuff that they're just throwing everywhere. So yeah, do something about it, please. And on that note, at this incredible tree, that is the end of our Wish You Were Here video.
Right? So thanks for watching. I wish you were here. See you in the next one.